Islam, Islam, Islam. Praises be to Allah, honest to His Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. First and foremost, what I like to share, take a reading from out of here, okay? This is a pamphlet here that we put together a couple years ago. Excuse the stains, okay? I just want to share the words of Prophet Noble Drew Ali for the world to be able to read and see for themselves, okay?
We didn't have nothing else to do. We get home from school. You know, there's nothing else to do. We get in the schoolyard, start doing some beats. We started coming up with our own style of clothes, dressing, our own graffiti, our own
Prophet.
style, our own language.
The Prophet has spoken.
Music, our own everything, basically.
Now, from this here, take these words, not from me, Brother Ardnell Bey, but take these words being from Noble Drew Ali, okay? The Prophet has spoken. All governors, grand sheiks, head officials, they guide anybody of Moors, of any temple, of the Moor Science Temple of America. I'm going to stop right there. Anybody of Moors, of any temple, of the Moor Science Temple of America. Take it how you want to take it, okay? He or she must be of a good moral standard and a heart of love. Their works must be of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. They are to imitate the Prophet in their speech and teaching in any said temple. They must imitate the Prophet in speech and teaching in any said temple. They must not be under the influence of intoxicating liquors or other harmful motive that will determine to become detrimental to the organization. You see what I'm saying? You hear what the Prophet is saying to you? So us arguing on social media, us debating on social media, us doing whatever we're doing, and it's a displeasing like, Noble Drew Ali's against it. Islam? Maybe 5 people, mostly all elders. It must not be known that any leader is staying away from home or neglecting his duty at home or must allow the public to know of their wrongdoings. It's a lot of brothers out here calling themselves grand sheiks, leaders in the Moor Science Temple of America, who's out of law. Because we know about your wrongdoings, Muslims. Keep your wrongdoings out the eyesight of the public. That's the words of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, not me, Brother Ardnell Bey. Islam, but you need to take care of your family. Before you can be a great grand sheik, let me see you do what you're supposed to do with those 7 children that you have, okay? With that, or whatever it be. It could be 2, it could be 3, it can be 1. But let me see you be a good father before you say that you're a grand sheik or a supreme grand sheik in the Moor Science Temple of America. Okay? They must live the life of love at home, and it must be known by all the members. They must not speak harsh words or use any profane language in the malice form to any other individual, because being a leader without influence of good works cannot be a leader. So there's no way I, Brother Ardnell Bey, can be mad, upset, whatever you want to call it, speaking with a dirty Moor, a clean Moor, or whatever you want to call them, a Key 86 or whatever, that will justify me as an officer or even a member in the Moorish Science Temple of America to just do what I want to do and say what I want to say without any
things that the temple was supposed to teach them again.
actions
They coming in with it.
from the group of Moors you're with. And if they're not taking action, they're not for Noble Drew Ali, because it's the word of the prophet right here. Okay? So anyone who's teaching you that you can use profane language, you can do this, you can do whatever you want, you your own man while you're in the temple, that's not the words of Noble Drew Ali, Muslims. Okay? It's not the words of Noble Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali also says,
and I'm trying to bridge that gap with him.
we still on the leader part, to form any other individuals, because without the influence of good works, you cannot be a leader. And to be a real Moorish leader, you must study the Quran and the divine constitutions that is handed unto you by I, the prophet. And to be a real Moorish leader, he didn't say Black Law's Dictionary, he didn't say the Herzliya statute, he didn't say anything. He said to be a good Moorish leader, you must study the Quran and the divine instructions, the divine constitution that is handed down unto you by I, the prophet. Okay? So don't let people misguide you, Muslims. Islam. For those who are saying that you shouldn't be giving up any money to the temples, Muslims, I can share with you a couple of times where the prophet speaks about finance. At the end of this, and the prophet has spoken, he says, no finance business is to be open with any group of members of any temple by the governor or the grand sheikh or whosoever is in charge without consulting with the prophet. Islam. So don't let nobody mislead you, talking about that we shouldn't be giving money to the temple, Muslims. How do you Muslims think that the temple's going to keep going? How do you think you're going to have a civics program? How do you think you're going to have a school? How do you think you're going to have a manufacturing center that can produce jobs for the Moorish American Moslems that's a part of that body of politics, if you're not giving anything back to the Moorish Science Temple of America? Okay?
That's why I'm trying to hold those souls in new Moors.
Share one more thing with the Moors. I'm still in the Prophet's lessons, Muslims. I don't want to use my own word. I just want to share with you real quick what Noble Drew Ali is saying. So now, let these brothers and sisters deal directly with what the words of Noble Drew Ali say. Don't let nobody misguide you. Islam?
I said it's going to be a situation like that story of the Maasai warriors. That one time incident took place.
Okay, here we go.
And something happened, they just up to their tribe. And the warriors were ready to go to war.
And this is March the 11th, 1929. This is Brother Crumley Bey, the governor, and the chief head of the temple in Pittsburgh, and Brother Charles Bey, the grand governor or the governor, chief head of the temple in Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm just going to read some of this. Okay. These two brothers are empowered by the prophet to investigate business, etc., of Temple number 4 in Detroit, Michigan, because Lomax Bey has violated all divine laws of the prophet, even before the prophet's face. February the 15th, 1929. And I don't want to stop, because you hear a lot of Moors say, oh, Moor, if you're working with this Moor, if you're asking this Moor to do this with you, and they're dirty, that makes you dirty. Nay, Moors. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali had nothing but snakes and scorpions all around him. And what did he do with the Moorish Science Temple of America? And we're supposed to imitate I, the Prophet. So it's going to be trials and tribulations that we go through. But if we stand firm, according to according to chapter 1, all will truly be well, and put our hands in Allah's hand, no spookism. We got to learn how to work with each other, brothers and sisters from different groups, etc., of the Moorish Science Temple of America, okay? But check this out. This is what the Prophet shared with us. He yelled with a loud voice, "Look at me. I will guide you through." This is a lawful and living evidence spoken before 1,500 people, and the Prophet was also present. See what the Prophet was going through, dealing with dirty Moors? And we're going to have that same problem, Muslims. But this is where you have, or you should see that you came to the Moorish Science Temple of America, which is a divine and national movement. So you got to understand that you're going to deal with some things that's on the divine side, and you're going to deal with some things that's on the national side. Stick with the prophet. Islam? Now this is what the prophet ended up saying. I, the prophet, declare his office vacant, and the name of Grand Governor discharged. That's how you do it, Muslim. Islam. When brothers out of law, he just sit and go back and forth and call them out their names. So this is how we move. Okay? We just say, hey, they're not a sheik. They're not a sheikist. They're a member. They have no power. Okay? He can only be a member according to the law because the Moorish Science Temple of America is a divine organization. Each temple is under the supreme guidance of the prophet. So with that being said, a lot of things that a lot of brothers and sisters are doing, and they're doing it in the name of the Moorish Science Temple of America, understand, anything that you do wrong, you have just invoked your prophet into wrongdoings. And I won't name what the wrong is. Do as thy soul dictate, but understand, anytime we do any wrong, we do in the name of the Moorish Science Temple of America, you're doing a wrong to your own government, which is the Moorish Science Temple of America. Islam, when man, and it reads, when man fails after being placed head of the temple by the prophet of obeying our divine laws and constitutions, he is a traitor. Whoa, that's what the prophet said now. When man fails after being placed head of the temple by the prophet of obeying our divine laws and constitutions, he is a traitor and an enemy of the divine creed and unloyal to the national government, U.S.A, to which the movement is to make men and women better citizens. I just said some things in here, and I've been hearing it all throughout Facebook. Islam, our prophet just explained to us, if we do not uphold the laws, which are divine laws and constitution, we are traitors. So we need to point the finger at ourselves for any wrongdoing that we have done in the name of Noble Drew Ali or the Moorish Science Temple of America. Understand what I'm saying to you, okay? A lot of Grand Sheiks, a lot of officers are directly out of line with Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So it's time for us to sit down. If you got to say it's the round table, let us sit down at the round table and let us see. Let's use reason. Let us quit the name calling, the back and forth, the backbiting, etc. And let us sit down like a real Muslim, man and women, and settle whatever it is that we need to settle in this divine and national movement. Islam. But he called them traitors, Muslims. Make sure that we do not become traitors saying that we uphold Noble Drew Ali, but all along we work in somebody else's plan or our own plans, and it's not in line with the law nor Noble Drew Ali. Be careful on what we're doing in the name of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Also, look how you always see that our prophet is referring us to go back to the divine constitution and bylaws. He's referring us to go back to the questionary additional laws, Islam, and the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Anything we do, we should always back it up. I don't care if it's universal law, common law, trust law, any kind of law that we back up, we should always back it up using the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, divine constitution and bylaws, and additional laws. And if you cannot do that, then it's not fit to use the prophet's name or the Moorish Science Temple of America. I would say personally, as a brother and a Grand Sheik, because it's folly. Islam. But also look at how our prophet tells us to the national government. Okay? And he also mentioned us as citizens. Okay? One more thing I'd like to share.
And this great sin must be removed from the land, to save it from enormous earthquakes, diseases, etc. All right? Excuse me. If you talk on the phone, can you step outside so it won't come on the tape? Thank you. All right, so here, he's warning this nation. At the same time, he's saying that if this is followed, if what I'm saying, if my people are brought back into the constitutional fold, then this will be one of
This is from our prophet
ever that has ever lived. And it will be, and that's why we have to, this is what we have to convey.
and it reads,
That if we have our own set up, then we can relate
to the heads of all temples, Islam. These are critical moments, and all Muslims are required to follow instructions. During the life of our prophet, he told us many things, but there was many things that he said he couldn't tell, but we would know after a while. All right? Since he passed, he left his son who will guide you. Now, of course, the prophet's laws are all right, but there are plenty he could write or put in form. Excuse the body. But there are plenty he couldn't write or put in book form. I'm going to read that again. That's very important because we know what that is as ADAPs and sheiks in the Moorish Temple of America. But there are plenty he couldn't write or put in book form. So someone had to tell you. Now, some are going to believe it and some are not. But now let me say it to you as your brother. As a brother, we love Israel. Please do not be hard-headed. In the ADAP last night, we were told not to eat meat, but to eat anything in the fish line with scales on it. That leaves out cat and eel. Eat fish and vegetables, etc., but no meat of any kind or any strong drinks until further notice. It's a lot of brothers and sisters, you're seeing them with liquors and strong drinks on social media. And these are grand sheiks and these are members of the Moorish Temple America. That's not the way of Prophet Noble Ali Muslims. Let us look at what we're doing and let us correct what we're doing, okay? One more reading for the Moors.
The first treaty signed was the Moroccan Treaty 1787. The most powerful thing that we have in that treaty is not so much what the treaty says, but the principles of the treaty. It's the fact that we worked out and we assisted them. And so we have the right to come to them in our time of despair to say, you should assist us also, as we assisted you back then. You should assist us in building up what we have to build up, and that's where the whole idea of reparations and these things come in. He said, so I the prophet, the last thing he said, so I the prophet am hereby calling aloud with a divine plea to all true American citizens that help me remove this great sin which has been committed and is being practiced by my people in the United States of America, because they know it is not the true and divine way. And without understanding, they have fallen from the true light into utter darkness of sin.
Okay. Here's the other thing we wanted to share, and then we're going to get out of here. Real quick with you. Praise be to Allah.
They don't recognize, even Africans don't recognize you. You go to African Americans, they don't even recognize you. You other people come from the Dominican American, you say, you black, they say, I'm Dominican. They right away, they tell you they're not China, I'm Dominican American. But we call ourselves names that nobody recognizes, that's why nobody's recognizing us. Only one.
Okay, and it reads, think this over, you Moors. All grand sheiks, excuse the body, all sheiks, grand sheiks must prepare for the prophet before he comes to visit them. Must see to it that all is clean and in perfection as far as comfort as possible, or otherwise don't arrange to have his presence. Okay, sheiks and grand sheiks. We must be walking a perfect and clean life. That means no profanity. That means no strong drinks. That means no eating meat. Whatever the Noble Ali instructed us not to do was not from himself, it was from Allah. So we need to take heed and do as he said. All grand sheiks. It says all sheiks, grand sheiks, must prepare for the prophet before he comes to visit them, must see to it that all is clean and in perfection. Period. No way around it, Muslims.
And I am hereby calling on all true American citizens for moral support and finance to help me in my...
Also, if you do not pay dues in the temple, you are not qualified to receive anything from the temple. Here it goes. No head of any temple, no head of any said temple is to borrow from any member more than $5 to $10, unless by notification of the prophet. The necessity for the loan. When any said temple desires to purchase property, they must first notify the grand body or the prophet. And it must be purchased under the name of the Moorish Temple of America or Noble Drew Ali. An individual name should never be applied. I, Noble Drew Ali, am responsible for all finance. So therefore, let I, the prophet, know what is on me. And I want to stop there because there's a couple things in there that I like to share with the Moorish American Muslims. And that first thing being is, the prophet wasn't just giving out money so the Moors can do whatever they want to do. You had to be in line with the prophet. No member is to borrow, no head of any said temple is to borrow from any member more than $5 to $10. Okay? If you don't pay anything, you don't receive anything. If you don't pay anything, you don't receive anything. And when we do business, here at Temple 2, we teach you how to go buy your home, put it in the name of Noble Drew Ali. How you put your car in the name of the Noble Drew Ali. How you put all your property in the name of the Moorish Temple of America or Noble Drew Ali. We teach that in our new members class by the Sister K. Glover Hill, the Grand Sheikess. Okay? There's no excuse for members to be out here saying that, oh, I don't know how to do this or I don't know how to do that. Also, we have a class every Thursday, okay, for our new members. And again, it's a very in-depth class. The Sister K. Glover Hill, the Sheikess, she takes the time out and share with you how to do the SF 181, how to go to your county and put them on notice. ETC, it's a lot that you receive by being a member of Moorish Temple of America, Temple number 225, or anything under the leadership of the Home Office under Home Rule, which has been controlled by great sheiks and adepts from all over the United States, okay? One more thing we'll share, and we're going to get out of here. Islam. Memberships, sisters and brothers, in the Moorish Temple America is free. But we do have dues, okay? And again, the dues are so that we can, because we're not a 501c, we don't receive any grant money, but the membership is free in the Moorish Temple America. Membership, sisters and brothers, is free not only here, but all over the world. The button is 25 cents. Card, 25 cents. 1 month dues are paid. Every member pays 50 cents a month for dues. So if you have a grand sheik telling you, don't give no money to the Moorish Temple of America, that's not a grand sheik.
I just thought that statement was so key. He's saying that Morocco is awaiting your proposal.
It's in the prophet's lessons. Don't listen to these people.
Morocco and the United States.
Get into the words itself. And to be a real Moorish leader, the prophet says it again, you must study the Quran and the divine constitution that is handed down unto you by I, the prophet. The other books are good, my brothers and sisters, but we must study our Quran. We must study our divine constitution and bylaws. And if you can't study those things, how can you think that you can come into the Moorish Temple of America and become a grand sheik overnight? How can you come in and say, these are the laws and these are not the laws, if you have not studied your Holy Quran, your core? these things are the core for us Muslims, so that we can really strengthen ourselves to what we need to do in the spirit realm, the physical realm, and the mental realm. Okay? There's no, and this is a warning from the Prophet, there's no favorite in any temple. Excuse me. There's no favorite in any of the temples, for the law is laid down, and everyone who claims a part of the work must be governed accordingly. All are one. Simple as that. He didn't classify, oh, well, these are over here, the Kirkman Bays over here, the Emily Hills, and they was all with the Prophet. And the Prophet knew what was going to happen way before then. Okay? So we need to quit playing the split game with each other. Okay? Unity. All are one. The words of the Prophet. No favorite in any of the temples, for the law is laid down, and everyone who claims a part of the work must be governed accordingly. So there's no excuse for me to say what I want to out my mouth. Or any other Grand Sheikh, Supreme Grand Sheikh, National Grand Sheikh, etc. If you use thinking, reason, willing, and understanding, then you should be able to think to save yourself. And using profanity and speaking radical, these are things that Noble Drew Ali spoke against, and anyone who's upholding it is upholding things that's against Noble Drew Ali. We got to quit playing with the movement, Muslims, okay? The Prophet reads, here it is. Prophet pleads to, Prophet makes a plea to the nation, okay? Our divine and national movement stands for Pacific Grand Principles of Love, Truth, Peace, Freedom, and Justice. And I, the Prophet, am applying to all loyal and faithful Moors, members, and American citizens to help me in my great uplifting acts of uplifting fallen humanity among the Asiatic race and nation. For I have suffered much and severely in the past through the misunderstanding of what the movement was dedicated to. Okay? It is the great God alone, it is the great God Allah alone that guides the destiny of this divine and national movement. I know all true American citizens are identified by the national descent names to answer and apply to the free national constitution of this free national republic of the United States of America. That's why I'm calling on all true American citizens to help me morally and financially in my great work I am doing to help this national government. Not to overthrow this government or any other government. For without a free national name, without a descent flag of your forefathers, there is not a national divine title of the government in which we live. Okay? This is from your true and divine prophet unto all American and foreign sympathizers, Islam Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So Muslims, with that being said, Muslims, the prophet is telling us and to everyone that he's making a call for help in the movement, morally and financially. And I'm doing the same thing here. We travel from city to city, state to state, and we're looking for brothers and sisters who want to help us open up the schools, who want to help us open up different programs, who want to bring jobs to the Moorish American Moslems. We want to work with the Hebrew Israelites. We want to work with the Nation Islam. We want to work in building so we can build communities throughout the earthland outside of the cities, okay? So we don't have time for all the bickering and the arguing. We got work to do. And all that other stuff is folly, Muslims, okay? So what we're sharing with the Moors is, let us do what Noble Drew Ali has asked us to do. And I haven't even went into the Holy Quran of the Moorish Temple America. I'm directly still into his letters that he left for us, etc.
who was around at that time.
We got to clean up what we're doing, Muslims. Okay? If you do not have a temple in your area, you can contact us. That's exactly what I do. I help set up temples throughout the United States, ETC, and UK, South Africa, Jamaica. We work with the Muslims all over the earthland. Yes, we do teach law. If those who want to learn law, but it's like, what type of law are you learning? Everything we share with you, you don't have to worry about going to jail. You don't have to worry about losing your property. Okay? And we're doing it all in the name of the Moorish Temple of America. And when you do it the right way, Muslims, you don't have to worry about FBI, CIA, DEA, or anyone harassing you. Okay? So basically what I want to share with the Moorish American Muslims is, it's time for us to get into the Prophet's lessons, Muslims. And if you don't know the lessons, sit down with the Grand Sheikh who know the lessons and understand the core. These things that I'm reading and sharing with you are the core. Okay? This is what makes us who we need to be in the Moorish Temple of America, following Prophet Noble Ali. But we got to come away from doing our own thing and trying to mix it in with Noble Ali. It won't work that way, Muslims. The only way this is going to work, we got to do it according to the divine instructions that Noble Ali has left for us. Okay? With that being said, that's all I wanted to share, but I will share a reading from out of the Holy Quran in the Moorish Temple of America, divinely prepared by the noble Prophet Ali, to the God of his Father God, Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from the simple fallen stage of humanity back to his high plane life with his Father God, Allah. Brothers and sisters, I want to share with you. Actually, I'm going to share two things with you. Of course, I want to share chapter 25. Then we're going to go into the last chapter, chapter 48, Islam, before we depart. But what I want to share with the Moorish American Muslims is,
because he also said he said that
the Moorish Temple of America is it's so much going on, Muslims, but it's all good in the Moorish Temple of America. Okay? It's all good in the Moorish Temple of America. You might think that it's a lot of division. You might think that it's a lot of arguing. You might think a lot of different things. But I'm going to tell you right now, there is grand sheiks of every group of Moors of the Moorish Temple of America working together today to get things on ball. Okay? I'm going to say that again. There's grand sheiks in the Moorish Temple of America from every group of the Moors who are working to do things behind the scene, Muslims. So don't think that we bickering, arguing, and ready to kill each other. Nay. That's the illusion that a lot of Moors see who don't go to the temple. You got to go to the temple also, more, so you can see how things really work. You'll never know by looking from the outside than trying to look in. There's a lot of temples out there that teach law, but you'll never know that if you don't